Ew, ew, big fish-ish. It's Friday evening, enjoying a little wine. Hopefully y'all are celebrating the wins of the week a little bit. Got to enjoy ourselves. But got a big fish talk for y'all today. We're going to talk about something that we've been talking about for really the past week or so, about energy, projection. But I need Albert Einstein's help on this one. So we're going to call good old Albert Einstein. And this is a quote or folklore. They said it may be folklore, may be a direct quote. They're not really sure. However, for all intent and purposes, is that the right way to say that? I don't know. Well, y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Albert Einstein, he said this. He said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. What y'all think about that? Let me read it again. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. You want to know why I'm a little hesitant on being all in on that? Is because we've talked about it before as far as like the whole Disney fantasy, especially when it comes to our young women, when they're growing up thinking that, relationships are just going to be this Disney fantasy, and they can be a little bit surprised when they get older. And it's not necessarily like that. I feel like boys, we have more of a humbling, I don't like that word, but a humbling process that society does to us. And it's the appropriate word because that's exactly what society does. Society does humble us, and I believe it humbles our young men in ways that it doesn't necessarily humble our young women. Neither here nor there. That's not the topic for today. The topic is the fact that we missed some of the most intelligent game, I would say, in one of our favorite childhood movies. And that movie is none other than Peter Pan, or TV show, movie. I think they had like a cartoon, and everybody's favorite, Hook. Everybody loves Hook. Matter of fact, Kamari said that she didn't see Hook, which was very disappointing. So I told her she should look at it today, because we were having this conversation earlier today, and I felt like sometimes I feel like, oh, I got this epiphany. Like I figured life out. And I say that they were hiding, something that's very important for us to understand life in Peter Pan. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. So Peter Pan, first off, I didn't know that Pan was known as was one of the Greek gods, and I believe is even recognized maybe in the Bible or among some of the other religions. But Pan was a god of, I believe, like the wilderness, architecture. Like apparently he was half man, half goat, I believe. But he was a god. And I guess Pan is known as being a god across a lot of religions. So here you have this character, Peter Pan, Peter, and then the Pan part, the godly part. Were they trying to tell us that Peter Pan? Well, let me back into it first. Let me ask y'all a question. As I put my phone on vibrate. What was the meaning? Like, what was Peter Pan's superpower? He could fly, right? He could fly. But it wasn't just Peter Pan's superpower. It was a lot of people's power in Neverland, where he lived. I believe couldn't everybody fly? Or no, everybody couldn't fly. Some of them were flying. Neither here nor there. Peter Pan was able to fly when he did what? When he thought positive thoughts. When he had positive things on his mind. Now, what has every single book that I've been reading, that I've been telling y'all about, described? Whether it's The Secret, whether it's Andrew Carnegie, whether it's what's the Think and Grow Rich, whether it's Patrick Bet-David's book, The Next Five Moves. All of these books have talked about the importance of mindset and using our imagination to envision first up here what we then want to come to fruition in reality. And the most important part is thinking of positive thoughts as it pertains to what we want. Because we talked about it before, when we're thinking about negative thoughts, our mind can't decipher between when we say, let's say you just think about how much you hate being broke. No, your mind just processes it as, oh, I'm only thinking about being broke, so therefore that's what's going to be projected in reality. Our mind isn't able to say like, oh, it's about hate being broke. No, it's the fact that that's all we're focusing on, that negative aspect of being broke. So therefore, that's what we're going to see carried out in our reality. So Peter Pan was able to fly. Pan is known as a god, a term for God. Peter Pan was able to fly when he focused on positive thoughts. He was able to soar, able to elevate, able to be godly, right? Do something not necessarily human, but outside supposed human powers. He was able to go above and beyond and do something that we would only see that a God would be able to do. So think about this. Like, we got to really sit down and process this, because I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, that was really telling us something. That if we focus on positive thoughts, and first off, just how important our thoughts are. Because if you couldn't focus on positive thoughts, you couldn't fly. You couldn't fly. We all saw Hook, right? We all saw Hook. As a matter of fact, no, everybody couldn't fly. But I forgot Hook was supposed to be Peter. So, all right, boom, all right. I got the story right. Peter was able to fly, but he had to think about positive thoughts. Hold on. Now I got it. Now y'all making me go double check. Was Peter Pan the only one that can fly? See, this is just hold on. Why is the only lost boy that can fly? Peter Pan is not the only lost boy that can fly, but he is the only one to retain these powers. Why is Peter Pan the only one? Originally, Peter and the Lost Boy could fly, so there's other people that can fly too. A couple of the little Lost Boys, but what did they have to do? They had to focus on positive thoughts. If you saw the movie Hook, when they're sitting at dinner, they're sitting there with empty plates, is what it seems. But once they start envisioning exactly what they want, like, oh, I want this big turkey leg, I want this, that, what started to appear? All of those things. So this is something that I'm just thinking about right now. This is wild. Matter of fact, it's not wild. It makes sense. It's not crazy. It's not wild. It just makes sense. Our minds create everything. And even though it may not be as realistic for us to, have an empty plate and for us to just, close our eyes and just think about food on the plate and it appear there, it's deeper than that. What we focus on, if we focus on doing things that are, going to allow us to put food on our table, whether that's going out and working, all these things, we're focusing on all these things that we want, all this abundance that we're looking for. Purposeful abundance is what we like to call it. We need to focus on positivity, because that's what's going to allow us to tap into that godly, or whatever you want to call it. Some people may get offended, but those godly qualities. And I say godly qualities because, and with the understanding that, for some people, they may, think that it's not godly, but it's outside of human qualities and quote unquote normal human traits. So that's what I refer to as the godly qualities, going above and beyond and outside the realm of what humans are typically used to, the powers that humans are typically used to. However, if Peter Pan is not showing us the key to life, then I don't know what is. Like, if you want to soar above and beyond by thinking positive thoughts, or do you want to think negative thoughts and stay on the ground? and never tap into that godly potential, that superhero potential, whatever it is you want to call it. It's telling us something. So as we go throughout the weekend and maybe tonight, I know on the Wake Up, the morning show that we did, we talked a lot about, we actually did an exercise where we closed our eyes for 15 seconds, envisioned, a lot of the positive things that we're looking for, threw away all the negative stuff in the beginning, then kind of recalibrated our minds to only focus on positive stuff to set the tone for the day. Maybe this is something that we can start to incorporate into our daily activities. When we wake up, maybe this is something that we should do. When we go to sleep, maybe this is something that we should do. Maybe this is something that we should do in the middle of the day when we're going through a stressful situation or when we're not. Just as a constant reminder to focus on positive energy if we really want to continue to grow, continue to elevate. So Peter Pan, I think tonight I may check out Hook. I don't watch too much TV, but I may treat myself because it looks like I'll be finishing Patrick Bet-David's book tonight. I think I got about 20 more pages, but I just want us all to open our eyes as we move through this world. And I don't mean just literally opening our eyes. I mean broadening what we're seeing, broadening our perspective on things, seeing things with a wider lens than we typically see things, just based on what society tells us, what our parents tell us because society told them, and just continuing to live in a cycle, and just doing stuff because we're told to do it, just following this particular way of life because our parents did it, because their parents did it, but not because it makes sense and is best for us to win in life. That can apply to a lot of different areas, but if we're just focused on everything that we want, if we are able to tap back into our child imagination, our child dream states, and our child beliefs and desire, where we knew, we didn't believe, we knew that we can do any and everything. We knew that. If we're able to tap into that energy and really believe it, and really focus on the positivity, the feelings, everything, imagine it in as detail as possible. It's going to carry us to great lengths, and it's going to elevate us to places that we may not have ever thought we'd ever get to. And why we have to have our eyes open is because these opportunities may not come in plain sight. Just like with Peter Pan, it may not have told us the key to life in plain sight. However, opportunities are going to be there, doors are going to open, and it's on us to do what I always say when it comes to energy. Act on our energy. We have to act on energy. All right? Our energy is going to do the trick with attracting it is what we're looking for when it comes to opportunities. But it's on us to act on it. So just wanted to share that with y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts. Am I reaching? Maybe, but it doesn't matter, because as long as I'm thinking that it's real, as long as I'm, using it as something else that's going to drill down how important it is to focus on positivity, to get rid of negativity, and to just make sure that I'm thinking as big as possible, believing as big as possible, and willing to do the work to make what everybody may perceive as impossible my reality. So who knows? Y'all may see me flying soon. You never know. I wouldn't put it past. I'm not even going to just say me. I wouldn't put it past energy. We are all superheroes in so many different ways. We all have godly potential if you believe that you came from God, and maybe whether or not you believe it or not, but we all have that potential to do amazing things that go above and beyond what we typically perceive as the norm. So I'll leave y'all with that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy it however you do it. I'm not going to tell you to have a glass of wine. I'm having a glass of wine. But just enjoy it. Most importantly, be around some loved ones, maybe call some loved ones, or just kind of sit sit by yourself and just relax. You know, recalibrate your mind. Maybe listen to some good music, whether it has lyrics or not. Listen to some instrumentals, some sauna music, some high. Matter of fact, maybe some high vibrational instrumentals, and just let your thoughts flow. You know, let your thoughts flow. Think about all the positive things that you can take away for the week, and think about all the positive lessons that you learned that you can implement over the weekend and for next week. So, with that, I'll let y'all rock. I'll see y'all soon. Ew.